Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome. Coaching Youth Hoops. How are you, Coach?
Amazing.
We're back.
It seems like a little hiatus, but we really didn't. But definitely feels like it, Coach. Busy. You're busy.
We're busy. There are lots of stuff going on. Trying to help a lot of coaches. But before we jump into today's podcast, do we have? We want to give a big shout out to one of our sponsors, right?
Yeah. Big shout out to GameChanger. Go check it out at coachingyouthhoops.com / what's a / GC?
Or is it Coaching Youth Hoops? It's been so long, Coach.
We're out of practice on this one, Coach.
It's gc.com /
coaching youth hoops.
There you go. I put it on my computer.
We've only said it 100 times this year. gc.com / coaching youth hoops. Go check it out. Again, gc.com / coaching youth hoops. Coaches, if you're not using GameChanger, you're missing out on stats, remote access, so your parents, grandparents can watch games. You can get highlight reels now and share those with your kids if you're looking to teach you certain concepts. Just an absolute game changer for your program. And the best thing of all, it is free. Again, gc.com / coaching youth hoops.
Or check it out. And then what were we talking about beforehand that people are always asking about, Drew?
Drills, right? So we hear you. We were Coach and I have been kind of brainstorming. Well, how can we give you guys what you need as far as drills? There's just so many drills. Some of them are going to work for your third grade team, but you can't run the Villanova, out of bounds play that they've run, and they got a 6'7" dunker, right, that they just throw the ball up to. So what we've done is we created a tool for you guys. And if you go to coachingyouthhoops.com / drills, you can check it out. Tell us what you need. And the way it works is you tell us there's some inputs, what you're looking for, and we will make the suggestions on the drills and we've narrowed it down on things we know that worked, things we like to run, feedback that we've already received from coaches using the drill. But it is basically taking millions of drills that are out there and saying, okay, this is what we know that has worked, either because we did it or because we got great feedback from coaches on what's working for them. Again, that URL is coachingyouthhoops.com / drills. Check it out. It's in beta, but we're,
Beta. It's in beta, people.
Yeah, just give us your feedback, and we're going to make that a tool that you can count on year round when you're running your programs.
All right. What's today's topic, Coach?
Yeah, today we're going to talk about playing without the ball. So weak side, off ball movement. I get this question a lot. What do I do? How do I teach? What do I teach? What happens a lot of times in offenses is, the action's happening on the ball side, especially at the younger levels, and the kids are watching. They become ball watchers on the weak side. They're just watching the action. And so how do you teach off-ball movement? What do you do to create distractions on the off-ball side? That's what we're going to explore today.
I'm intrigued because I have my team's having problems with this. I know there's some drills I do with this, but it's almost like they're resting at times on offense when they're off ball.
Right.
They're watching and they're resting and they're not moving. So I try to give specific things to do at all times. But I'd be intrigued what you do, Coach, because I
think that's and it comes down to, well, truly, what is the problem? I think for most young people, there's too much to do or too much they could do, so they do nothing, right? Because they don't know what the right choice is, and they don't want to make a mistake making the wrong choice in that particular instance. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes. And that's where it's like, that's where a good offense is like the blitz or the rule of three, where you can give them some specific things to do. Like,
right.
If you're just standing there, you shouldn't be doing that. Can you cut? Can you screen? Can you what? Yeah. I mean, what are the specific things that you can do if you don't have the ball? But I mean, there's a couple ways that I think a lot of it is, we do a lot of stuff with small-sided games too, with like 2-on-2 and 3-on-3, because you can't not move when you're doing those. If you get too stagnant, I mean, if you're playing 2-on-2 and the person without the ball is not doing something, you got problems. But obviously, you're not able to screen and do some things like you can ball screen, but you can't screen away. But that we do a lot of that to do it. We also talk about locations, like where should you be on the court? If you're here, where can you go, and what specific spots, especially if you're playing a 5-out or a 4-out 1-in kind of thing.
Yeah, and I always think about it as general rules to start. And I always say, if everything just breaks down, just create space, right? You create space for the ball, right? So, okay. And I know that's vague, but at the same time, then we start breaking that down. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if you get dribbled, if your teammate is dribbling at you, move. Right, just move. Right, take your defender with you away from the ball. Okay, I got it, Coach. Great. So somebody dribbles at me, right? Or depending on the situation, right, you can back cut. But just create space for the ball to move freely. If you just stand there, right now there's 2 defenders on the ball. So we make some general rules like that. And again, you can have it on your coaching, whatever your coaching philosophy is, or if there's something particular to your offense, create those general rules to take away decision making almost. And here's where I think coaches, there's 1,000 things we need to teach kids in the game of basketball, and you can't do it with 2 practices in 90 minutes in a short season. So you have to remember you're building, you're starting at the foundation level if you're a young coach, 3rd, 4th grade, and you just have to teach them some very basic things. And over time, right, you just layer, those things are going to get layered. The thing that I love is I've had this team that I've been coaching now for, gosh, they're in 8th grade now. I think they started in 5th grade. And over that course of, and they've been pretty much year round, right? And so 2 practices, 90 minutes. Not only have I seen their basketball IQ develop, but that's because their brain is also developing to match, right? So we have to be aware and meet the kids where they're at developmentally as well and not put too much on them. And this is kind of crazy. We're talking about off-ball movement, right?
Right.
But
No,
it's
I agree. I 100%.
yeah,
And I got a question to ask you, but before
yeah.
we do that, let's talk about Curve, our other sponsor, Coach.
Yeah, Curve. Big shout out to Curve. If coaches go to coachingyouthhoops.com/health, they're giving you a free assessment. Any high school coach that's listening to this right now, you can sign your team up. It's free to get started. They're going to give you a free health assessment for your players. There's mental health. You're going to get matched with if your kids need some mental training. They have that available. They also have physical therapy opportunities. And it's basically, if you think about it, coaches, it's an online clinic. It's bringing pro level healthcare down to the high school level. It's quite amazing what the team over at Curve Health is doing. Again, coachingyouthhoops.com/health. Go check it out.
All right. So my question for you is
Yeah.
I'm coaching a 5th grade team.
Mm-hmm.
How do I drill it? How do I show them off-ball movement? That's my question to you.
So we start with the generals, like I said. If, again, spacing, always make space in the ball. Okay. But of course, I teach the blitz offense. And what we're doing on the off ball side is very specific movements. Okay. We basically just think about a down screen, the easiest, simple to say this over a podcast. So you're basically down screening on the off ball side, and then the person you're screening is being very patient. Is the driver? This is the only thing they have to do. Only decision they have to make is when do I go off and use the screen? That's it. So I've taken all the decision away from them. Now I can hear the criticism from coaches. I will tell you, again, unless you have an exceptional basketball IQ team and they're just off the charts, be patient. Okay. You layer it. Next year, you teach them, okay, one more movement off of that, right? Or two more movements off of that. I have seen it with this team I was telling you about. I was watching them play the other day, and they're doing stuff I didn't teach them how to do, but they're using the basic concepts that I did teach them to do, and they're applying them in situations that I didn't teach them how to do. So it'll click. It'll just take some time, and they'll start learning what the proper movement is, and realize like, oh yeah, I can't stand here if somebody's dribbling at me, right? I got to do something. But yeah, in a nutshell, I give a very specific movement on the off ball side, and then the decisions I take away as many decisions as possible, depending on the age level, and say do this when this happens, do this. So it's based kind of a read and react type of situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like you can only do so many things if you don't have the ball.
Right.
What can you do? You can cut, you can replace yourself, you can screen away. Right. I mean, it's like the rule of 3 offense. So it's like similar things. It's like you got to pick. And how much of a practice would you use on this specific thing?
Well, I just do short-sighted games, right? The small-sided games. So we're just practicing. We start with the strong side, right, ball side, and then we'll layer in the weak side after, basically combine those two things. And I would say it builds from strong side, and we'll go through, repetitions and the different sets that we do depending on the age. Maybe 10 minutes. I always try to keep things in 8 to 10 minutes, and then switch it up. And then we'll add in weak side and be very specific on what I want you to do and what concept I want to teach. So again, weak side, you're going to down screen, and then you're going to be patient. I just want you to stay there. Then we go to, okay, come off, use the screen. You're going to come up as the person's driving to the hoop. You're going to come up and around them to be the outlet up on the top. Okay, now you're just going to drive, and then now you're going to be the outlet on the top. The player is going to turn and kick the ball out to you, right? So again, layer, and we just drill those 8 to 10 minute increments just so they get that general, okay, I get it, right? And then we do a just free play, but I freeze. right? Okay, freeze, right? If I see something that they're missing, not every time, but every couple times, if they're repeating the same issue all the time, I'm like, okay, freeze, right? Do you understand here, space, what we're trying to accomplish? You didn't come up, right? Whatever it is I'm teaching. And that seems to work really, really well, right? So I emphasize something in each of those small-sided games.
I do.
Sometimes it might be the strong
You're
side.
changing
The weak side.
constraints.
I'm
You're
changing
changing
those constraints. That's right.
That's all it is. It's just
That's all
changing
it
those
is.
little constraints. And coaches, again, what Coach said is like you only have them a couple hours a week.
Right.
I mean, I just watched Nebraska play Wisconsin, and they weren't doing very well on offside ball movement. So don't be mad when your fifth grade group is like standing, because it happens at some of the higher levels.
That's right. So just pick an offense and be conscious of what you want them to do.
Right.
And
Yes.
just think, okay, we got the ball side. We focus a lot on that. And then what do I want the player to do? Take away, especially at the younger level, as many decisions as possible. And don't feel like you're, I guess, gypping them out of opportunities. It's actually going to be better for them. And you'll create more of an offense when you do that.
Okay.
And if they master that one thing really quickly, okay, now you can do two things and then three things, right? But don't just think that they're going to know what to do. They'll go to the idea of doing nothing because they don't want to make a mistake, and they just will sit there, right? And that's
Right.
always the problem.
I know it is. All right. Anything else, Coach? Let's give a big shout out to our sponsors too.
Yeah, coaches, go check out gc.com/coaching youth hoops. You need an app to track stats, do game film and highlights. And also big shout out to Curve. They are a leader in providing pro level health to high school players and students, coaches and teams. So go check that out at coachingyouthhoops.com/health.
All right. Till next week.
Next time.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp recently surveyed over 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it's wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. Because we're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/stopthestigma for their first ever State of Stigma report, the latest in mental health research.